Just as you're resting here in Supta Baddha Konasana, I want you to bring your awareness to the openness of your chest. The shoulders should be relaxed and melting around the bolster. And there's a real softness to the body, to the back body. And a real openness to the front of the body. So often in our everyday life, we close off the front of the body. So here we start the class with a beautiful open chest. And there's a physical sensation that we have as the back of the body wraps around the bolster and the chest opens. We can feel it in our skin. In the muscles, the flesh. And then we start to bring focus on the breath, the inhalation and the exhalation. So we start to become even more internal. And there's a softness. There's a softness to bringing your awareness to your breath. A calmness. As the mind follows the breath. Let's begin with the square breath this morning. Exhaling the breath completely. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. And continue. Continue to your own breathing, rhythm of breathing, whatever that is for you. Then perhaps now, as you've settled into the breath, you can start to bring the breath or take the breath a little longer, the holds a little longer, but not so that it's a struggle. If it's a struggle or you find it hard to hold the breath when you slow down the count, then don't. But perhaps you can start to fill the lungs a little more. And then at the end of your next exhalation and hold of the breath, just return to your normal breathing. But keep the awareness on the breath. And keeping the softness in the body, we interlace the fingers across the tummy, all the way to the webbing. Turn the palms up towards the ceiling and straighten your elbows. And then with your breath, as you exhale, take your arms overhead. Doesn't really matter whether it's an inhalation or an exhalation, whatever is and feels right for you. So the back of the neck remains long, the eyes are soft. There's a gentle wrapping of the outer arms and a lifting up of the chest. Inhale, raise the arms up to the vertical, and exhale, release down. Change the interlace, turn the palms and straighten the elbows. And as you breathe, take your arms overhead. Really start to feel the elongation of the body here through the arm bones as the wrists press away. And the skin, the physical sensation as the skin stretches, the flesh stretches. Inhale, raise the arms back up to vertical, and exhale, release down. Before helping the knees come together, roll to the side, make your way up to sitting facing forward. And the hands to the back of the bolster. Just closing down the eyes here for a moment. And I want you to feel the broadness across the chest. As you bring that place that's in between your shoulder blades, the dorsal spine, through to the front chest a little more, and allow the top of the sternum to raise up towards the chin. And when you do this action, the back of the neck gets a little longer, perhaps. Let's bring the hands into heart center. And let's join together in our 3 Oms, exhaling the breath completely. Inhale. Bowing the chin. Surrendering the intelligence of the head to the intelligence of the heart. Releasing the arms, lifting the chin, gently opening up the eyes. Good morning, everyone. We're going to stay on the ground today. So we're going to start in Iyengar. So you'll need to move your bolster out of the way and bring your blocks into play. So we have the blocks in a position like that. And remember, guys, that this block sits right in between the shoulder blades. It's not too high on the neck and it's definitely not too low in the back, but it's there to open up the dorsal spine, to take the dorsal spine through towards the front chest. So we keep the knees bent as you lay back on it. Now remember, there's three. You can have it on the low block, the medium block, or the high block. So you choose. Good. And then we lay back onto the block. And perhaps you like this pose, perhaps you don't like this pose. And we open up the legs, just bring the legs back into Baddha or cross legs. And if this is too strong for you, of course, on your lower back at all, bend your knees, bring your knees together, and then just walk your feet out to the sides. So, and if you've got your knees bent, you want to kick your heels a little bit wider, so you get that internal rotation of your thighs. And then the palms are facing up and the arms are away from the body. And we start to just again, so this is more intense. It's a similar pose, I suppose, to what we've just been in. But it is definitely more intense because it brings our focus to that place in between the shoulder blades, the dorsal spine. And it's this dorsal spine that tends to get very stiff, stuck, becomes harder. The flesh, the muscles, the tendons around this area becomes harder as we get older. And it's normally due to not moving as much. When we're a child, we're flexible, everything is growing. And we have movement in between all of our joints. And then as we get older, we do less movement. So just really allow the shoulder blades to wrap around the block. You've got your legs in cross legs, change the cross of your legs. And just make sure here that wherever your neck is and you're supporting your head with the block, whether it's on a lower height or a higher height, can you soften all the fibers in the neck? Let go. So whenever you get a chance at home, this is a great pose to do because it really starts to open up that upper back. Good. So wherever you are, let's bend the legs up. So the knees are bent. Now hold on to the edge of the mat, press your forearms into the floor, bring your chin to your chest, and just slowly make your way up. Let's turn around for a moment. It can be pretty intense on the upper back. So just find your way into child's pose. So toes together, knees wide. And allow that dorsal spine to fall through toward your front chest. So the arms are stretched out in front. Middle finger along the length of the mat, the fingers are spread Then press the palms down as you wrap your outer armpits down towards the floor. Yeah. Now lift the chest. So it's not about getting the forehead to the floor here. So just make sure that the back of the neck is in line with the spine. And then squeeze the buttocks towards your heels perhaps a little more and feel the stretch in the front of the body. There's a physical sensation that happens in all of our poses. Good, inhale, come on up. Lovely. So we're going to get ourselves very comfortable in sitting in Virasana today. So you may need a block, and we're going to be transitioning into dog pose. So I do want you to be comfortable. Now, I know that some of you have got knee replacements, all right, or knee issues. And to sit in Virasana, whether it's on 2 blocks, 3 blocks, or if you need to bring in a bolster on your 2 blocks, then you can bring in a bolster on your 2 blocks. And there is one more option here. So if this is not accessible to you, remember you can sit on a chair. So I want you to get comfortable because we're going to be coming back to this position. Okay, so, yep, good. So I've got 2 blocks there and a bolster. You can place a blanket underneath your knees. And we're just resting the hands now on the fronts of the thighs. And today, let's see if you can stay with yourselves, your physical selves, but stay within your body, within internally. So just be in focus here. We're going to take things slowly today. It's fairly wet outside, it's calm. So let's see if we can just develop that feeling within ourselves. Good. Let's bring the hands forward now. Rock forward, tuck the toes under. We're coming into dog pose. So straighten the legs and bring the chest through towards the feet. Good. So can you draw the leg bones up? I want you to come right up onto your toes here, right up onto the balls of the feet. So the leg bones draw up, but then that gives you access to bring your chest, your dorsal spine through a little more. And here it's a stretch on the arms. The arms have to work here. And then we gently squeeze the heels back down, but I want you to keep moving that dorsal spine through towards your front chest. Good. We open up the backs of the legs. We start to open up the body. Exhale, release back down to Virasana, whether you're on a chair or the floor. And stay with your focus today. Let's interlace the fingers, turn the palms forward. Inhale, raise the arms to your extent. So try to keep the arms straight, even if the arms are out in front a little bit today. So we're not working so hard. Good. Yeah, that's good. Now lift the chest and take the dorsal spine through and lengthen your tailbone. Try not to allow the tailbone to flare. Then from here, we're just taking a gentle twist around to the right. Separate the arms and we come into a gentle twist. Now, you should be able to use the block or the bolster, whatever's behind you. And release the neck. The back of the neck is long. But then when we do this, I want you to again feel the physical sensation in the body. Is the body even? Is the body even, the sit bones even on the bolster? Are the side waists even, or does one shorten? Can you take the dorsal spine through towards the front chest a little more? Inhale, untwist out, and then we change the interlace, turn the palms forward. So stay with yourselves. You don't really need to look at what I'm doing. Inhale, raise the arms, because you probably know where we're going. Now lift up through the arm bones, the chest comes through, but then there's this wrapping of the outer armpit and lengthening the tailbone to protect your lower back. We take a twist to the left, separate the arms, and we come into a twist. Just make sure here that again the sit bones are even, the lengthening of the tailbone and the lifting up of the chest. The shoulder tips, even that left, that right shoulder tip, take it back. You press your ankles down towards the floor. Inhale, untwist out of the pose. We come back to dog pose. So transition back to dog pose, tuck the toes under. So take the chest through, press into the palms, take the chest through. Wrap the outer arms, come on, lift the hips, lift the hips. So there's energy, there's a physical sensation that happens in the body. Yoga is beautiful because it provides us with an experience, an external experience where we may feel discomfort, where we may feel the tissues stretch, the muscles work. And we can go into that, bring our awareness to the physical. Exhale, release down. Back to Virasana. Good, so now we're coming into Garudasana arms. So you will need to bring the right hand across in front. We sweep the left arm behind. Now, if you can't get your fingertips, the hand on the fingertip, have the belt in the right hand, and when you sweep the left hand underneath, you can take hold of the belt. And that way, it gives you a little more room in the front of your chest. So can you lift the chest up, bring the dorsal spine through, shoulder tips back, shoulder blades down, and then lengthen your tailbone. Come on, pubis up, that's better. Yes, good, because that moves the body back in line so that there's one straight long line. Now, some of you need to lift your elbows, not everyone. Some of you need to lift your elbows a little bit so the arm is just underneath the chin and move your hands away from the face. And there is an action here. The back of the neck is long, so the chin in a little for some. So it's really watching your body and staying with yourselves. Perhaps now you can come into your breath and your focus is on your breath. But there's still a physical sensation in the body. Good, exhale, releasing out to the sides. And we bring the other hand. So if you're using the belt will go in the left hand. You bring the left hand across, sweep the right hand underneath and bring the fingertips to the palm, or you take hold of the belt. Whatever is good for you. Now, this side might be a little bit different. So can you lift the elbows up, draw the shoulders back, open up the chest a little bit more, so bring the dorsal spine through. Now lengthen your tailbone. Yeah, that's better. Pubis up towards the navel. And then soften the eyes. This Virasana cycle gives us the opportunity to be much stiller within ourselves. Exhale, release out to the side. We come back to dog pose. So try to stay with this physical sensation as you move forward. Tuck your toes under and press back to dog pose. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now you may be able to start really opening up the backs of your legs here. So from here, can you bend your knees? Bend your knees and take your chest through towards your knees. Now press into your palms to try and elongate through the spine a little bit more. Now, when we straighten the legs, I want your hips to head on up towards the ceiling. And then you can squeeze your toes back down, but keep taking your chest through. So it's a new dog pose. It's different to the last dog pose. Everything that we do is new. Every sensation. We open up the body, we open up the backs of the legs. And we can notice here what effect it has on ourselves. Do we take it easy? Do we push too far? Be steady with your awareness now as you come back to Virasana. Gomukhasana arms. So if you need to bring your belt over your right shoulder, you'll bring your belt over the right shoulder. Good. Take the arms out to the side. The right arm comes up by the ear, sweeps down the back, sweep the left hand behind. Either take hold of the fingers or the belt, whatever is good for you. Yeah, good. Now, I don't know about you, but me in this pose, my tailbone flares. So can you bring your pelvis up towards your navel? But then open up your chest. So lift the chest up. The back of the neck is long and balanced on the spine. Wrap your outer right armpit forward. Now again, we get a physical sensation. It can be strong. It's strong for me on my shoulders, especially my left shoulder. And we can explore that physical sensation, or we can come to the breath. Doesn't make it easier when actually we bring our awareness to something else. Perhaps you can press the shins down into the floor. And how does that